my thought of today is about leaning in. Far too often even during mindfulness and meditation, quite often focus is put on around you are not the thoughts and bring awareness to the thoughts, etc. And that can be really helpful, looking at the whole picture, but sometimes these thoughts are really real, they take over, and sometimes the best thing we can do is lean in and just see what that feels like. Just notice what that feels like, just observe it. Know that it's okay to not be okay and to sit with discomfort, that sadness shouldn't be pushed away, and just really lean into however you're feeling, whatever that is for you, and just notice it. Really just question it, just see how that feels, and just sit with it for a moment, because quite often if we try and detach too much, it can feel a bit scary. And when you're feeling something that feels so real, you're feeling that in that moment. So for that purpose, when you lean in and sit with it, it softens it, it meets it, it's just so powerful to be able to be with what's there, knowing that you don't need to push it away. By leaning in and just giving yourself that space, you're doing a lot more healing than you would possibly think. And I've been talking to quite a few people recently, even in the work I do, and holding different events and retreats and days and things like that. And the words holding space comes up again and again. Like, we're holding space for people, and this might not seem a lot, but it's actually the best gift you can have, to be in a space where you feel really safe, to feel heard and seen and able to lean into how you're feeling, knowing that it's safe to do that, knowing that it's okay to feel what you're feeling, and just really leaning into whatever is coming up for you. So anyone out there that holds these spaces, whether it's through meditation or mindfulness retreat days, yoga, any form of therapy session, holding these spaces for people to be able to access what they need so they can fix themselves, it's truly magical. And the more time that you get to spend in these spaces, really embrace them. I've been really grateful to have quite a few spaces like this open for me recently, and it's done me the world of good with my healing, and I'm just really appreciative of being able to lean into how I feel, and in turn it softens everything much quicker, and it just creates that space inside where you're able to be much freer with what's going on. There's so much pressure on the right or wrong thing to do, the right way to be, things you should and shouldn't feel, all this striving to keep up. And sometimes just leaning into it and just noticing how it feels is the best thing you can do. And while you're not the thought itself, to just know how that thought makes you feel, just lean into that feeling, and what does it feel like for you, and how does it feel just to sit there with it. I sat with someone yesterday who held a space for me, and it was amazing in a short space of time. By being given the freedom and the space just to lean into how I was feeling, it softened so much and made me feel lighter, and all I was doing was simply being with how I felt. And it might seem like a really easy thing to do, but for so many of us it's not. We keep running, and what happens is the more we suppress, it creates that disease in the body, which leads sometimes to disease itself, or the same lessons just keep resurfacing until we listen. So by leaning in, you are creating more free space for yourself, enabling you to just be all you're meant to be and lean into that. So yeah, lean into who you are, lean into your feelings, and yeah, allow yourself the freedom.